Hi folks, I'm here with Lou today for a bit of a change, and we are going to be doing a playthrough of the Umbrella Academy by Mantic Games, which is now on GameFound. So I'm not going to take you through kind of how to play the game as such. We're going to talk about it as we go, and I'm not going to take you through the basics of the setup, as Mantic have already done a video about this, and the rulebook, which I believe is free online, is also pretty clear on that. So we've kind of got to a point here where essentially we've set the board up, we've set all of the different decks up that you need. We've got the main deck here, which has the main kind of advantage and hazard cards in. We've got the wound deck, we've got the ally deck here. We have the feud deck, which sometimes plays a part. We have the devastated cards, which happens when, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. And then we each have our own decks here as well, which we'll be playing. And I'll tell you which characters we're playing in a second. And then down the right hand side here, you can also see we're playing against Hazel and Cha-Cha. They are the super villains that we are playing in this particular game. So yeah, as I said, we're going to basically, we'll take you through kind of a gameplay. And we today are going to be playing as, I am playing as Space Boy, and Lou will be playing as I was going to say Seance there. It's not Seance, Rumour. Yeah, it's Rumour. So how do we start then? We start by drawing 5 cards each from our deck. So I've got a deck here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think I'll put them on the camera there as well so you can see that. I have 2 feud cards here. So in your deck, you have 10 of these specific skill cards that go with your specific hero. And you have 2 feud cards, which just happen to come out in my particular one. And you've got 5 skill cards there. 5 skills. Okay, so next thing we need to do is we need to take the main deck here and we need to populate the board. Actually, before I kind of go on and show you the board, you can see that on number 1 at the moon here, number 3 at the general hospital, number 5 at the city, number 9 downtown, and number 10 at the mansion. There's some text on the board here, and these are special abilities that if there are no cards on those areas, you can actually use one of your actions to use those abilities. So it's a good idea to sometimes get the cards off those particular areas to help you out as you go. So we'll start by, as I said, populating the board. So you basically, from the main deck, you go around and you fill up each of the locations around the board in order. We'll get those put on there. And then the next thing to do is, Lou, you can take the dice, the D10 there, and this is, we're going to find out whereabouts on the board our enemies are going to be. So the characters always start from the same locations every game. Space Boy here starts from the moon. If you're familiar with the comic books or the TV show, you'll know why that is. And Rumour here always starts in the city. Now, unfortunately, she's going to be starting in the same square as Cha-Cha, as Hazel, I should say. So the next thing we need to do now is we need to go to Let's Play. So yeah, so now we need to decide who goes first, and that, according to the rule book, that is decided by whoever was the last person to use an umbrella. I think it was definitely will be you. So there you go. You can go first, right, Lou? Okay. What are you going to do? So what you can do is you have a number of different things you can do with your cards. You can play one of those skill cards to move, and what you can do is you can move from any location on the board to the mansion. Yeah. You can move from the mansion to any location on the board, and if you're in any of these connected white areas, you can move from any white area to any other white area. And if you're in these green areas, you can move from any green area to any other green area because they're connected together. And it costs you a skill card to do that. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is, if like me, you're in a square or a location where there's one of these green advantage cards, you can just use your action to pick up an advantage card and put it in your hand. Or if you have some of these skill cards with these battle logos on, battle tokens, there are 3 different types, as you can see here. There is Power, which is on this card. There is Fight, which is on this one. And there is Wits, which is the light bulb on this one. And if you have a matching logo on one of your skill cards with the hazard area that you're in, you can use it to start to kind of deal damage and get rid of those areas. So what would you like to do, Lou? So I've got 2 options. Okay. I can try and play on this hazard card. Yeah.
to try and get some off the board. Or we can try and pick up as many of the advantage cards as possible to support us through the rest of the game, because these are going to disappear anyway in the next round.
That's right.
Cards on top.
Yeah. So remember as well, one thing is that the way we win the game is by defeating the supervillains. However, in this particular scenario with Hazel and Cha-Cha, we can't start to try and defeat them until we're in the finale, and we'll come on to the finale when it happens. But another way we can lose the game is if there are 6 hazard cards on the board at the end of the effect phase.
Yes.
Or if we have too many wounds and such forth. So we'll talk about them if and when it happens. But so we really need to be getting rid of some of these hazard cards as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with trying to get rid of this hazard card that I'm on by.
Okay. So you're going to play the skill action.
Skill action.
So we'll just show the card on screen there.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. So basically, because it has that token on, it matches one of the tokens or the logos on there, or the symbols, I should say, not logos, the symbols. So you can play one of those tokens onto there, and that goes into your discard pile.
Yeah.
So you have one action, and it comes back to me. So I'm going to pick up this card here as my action, and pick up that the fight symbol there, and put it into my deck.
And I'm going to replicate my last action with the same card. I'm going to play another skill card.
Yeah.
And in
fight
another
symbol.
Fight, which could come on here, which basically takes that off the board.
That's it.
However, there is a...
And that destroys it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just goes in the discard pile over there. So then it's back to me again. Right. Now, being in the moon now, because I've got rid of this card, the moon has an ability here called Train. And it means I can discard any skill card in my hand to place a power token on any hazard on the board or any villain on the board. Because we can't start attacking the villains just yet, I can use that to get rid of some hazards. So I think a wise move is to probably get rid of... is it worth it? Yeah, I mean, I've got some skill cards which have these lightning bolt symbols, the power symbols, but I would have to move to a location to do that, and it would cost me another card to do it. So I'm probably better off using these to use on one of these two here. I think what we'll do is we're going to get rid of this one because the effect on this one I think is a bigger disadvantage to us. Because what this one does is it starts to eat up and destroy advantage cards in our main deck. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ability on here, discard a skill card, which I'll do here, and put that on my discard pile, and I will put a power token on there.
Into here, great.
And then player moves to you, Lou.
That's my go. Now I've got no power token.
The lightning bolt ones, yeah.
So I've got none of those to play, so I can't move into a space and collect them, but I can move around the board and try and collect. So I'll use a card.
You're going to use a skill to move, yeah?
I'll move a skill. So I'll use this one which says, when this is discarded, discard the top card of your deck, which I'll do to move to here. And then that is your go.
Awesome. And then I think what I'll do is, as I said before, I'll use the other skill card as well to put another skill token. Another power token right there, and it gets rid of that one. So that is good for us.
Right, my go, and I'll take this advantage card.
Wise move, I think. And then I'm down to my feud cards and one skill token. Now, I think what I can do is, this might be a wiser thing, because how many skill cards have you got left?
I've got 2 plus an advantage, which I can use on my next move.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, and I'm going to use the text on the card. So what you can do is, instead of using it to move, I can play it to utilize the text. And the text on this card says, choose another player to draw 2 cards. So if you draw 2 cards from your skills deck, that gives you extra things you can do, and it's probably the wiser choice as a kind of like a cooperative type thing. So.
Okay, so I'm going to move, because I can move to anywhere for free, so I'll move to there for that go, your go. Okay,
so you move to here, and then I can't do anything else now. nothing I can do to really help, so I'm going to pass, which means I can't do anything more now. You basically just get to go through all of your motions.
Okay, so I'm going to play this advantage card and
okay, so this is double the double
lightning
power.
bolt to get rid of this.
So another thing just to mention is once you play these green advantage cards, they are destroyed. They're out of the game. They never get shuffled back in. Whereas your skill cards, once you run out of skill cards in your deck, you can reshuffle the discard pile. But these ones, once they're used, they're out of the game.
Okay, I think I'm pretty much...
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on. I may as well try and collect some more.
We've got some more stuff on the board.
Yeah.
You're going to move around?
I'll move... Play one to move to here. Oh, no. I'll play one to go here.
Yeah.
Pick up
that one.
That one because it's useful in later round, potentially. And then I'll use a skill to get to here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the Mansion's ability to move to space 8.
Yep. So because you've moved into there, you're going to get 2 wounds.
Yeah, 2 wounds.
And this is a good place to talk about wounds, because basically what you do is you have these wound cards. And essentially what you do is if you get any wounds, you take the wound cards and they go on the face up on the top of your discard pile.
Which means that I can't heal them because they're
Which means you can't heal them. So yes, we're just going to say this: we had to play this game again because we were playing this wrong. We did a thing where you went to the hospital and you healed wounds in your discard pile. It very clearly states on the board there: discard all wounds in your hand and then draw a card. So basically, we can't heal them up yet, but when they come back out, you'll be in and around the hospital to be able to do it. Let's hope we can clear that hospital out this time anyway. So, yes.
Right, so now I'm going to play my skill card, which says place a hazard at the location on top of the main deck face down. So that goes back into the draw pile.
So it goes back on the top. So whilst it will come back out, it's gone for the effect phase, which is good for us.
Yeah, so now although I can't heal myself, I can use my final skill card to pick up basically a plan. One of these two, the levitator belt, which allows you to move, or this one here, which allows us to use the
So don't forget, basically, when we come into the crisis phase, we deal more cards from the main deck on top of any non-hazard cards. So that's every space in the board now. As you can see, there are no hazard cards left. Every space is going to get a new card in. So if you wanted to get these into your hand,
we may as well have at least one.
We might as well. So because what you could do is, and I don't want to tell you what to do, but you could use a skill card to pick up the levitator belt.
Yeah.
You could then play the levitator belt to move you to any location, which would get you this advantage card for say. Then
but as in zero-sum game, because I can go directly from here to here. So you can move within for one card.
Yeah, but all I was going to say was, you just take them off the board. You've got another one in your hand. All I was thinking was you could then go there to pick that up using the card, and then use the other one that's in your hand to move here to pick up that one. So you'd end the game with those two.
But I think this can be quite useful later.
Yeah, it is.
Can't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my skill card. I'm going to go directly to here and pick up one of these. So I've got one of both in my hands. Moving into the next.
You think that's probably the better way? Yeah,
I think it's worth a go.
I agree. So yeah. So that's the end of the play phase. We've played all the cards that we can play. What we do is we move into the next phase, which is the draw phase. And what we do is we take our hand of cards and we draw back from our own personal deck back up to 5 cards. Now, any of these green cards that you've got, these advantage cards, don't count towards your hand of 5, but the red feud cards do. And the wound cards do as well, should you have any wound cards in your hand. So we will deal back. I need 3 cards. 1, 2, 3.
So I've only got 4 left, so do I shuffle these now into the bottom of the card?
Do you need another card?
Yes.
So no, what you do is you take those 4 cards, they're at your hand, and you shuffle the discard pile and take 1 card back in. So there is a possibility that you might get one of those wound cards now.
Better not cheat then.
You better not cheat. Okay.
Yeah.
So once we've done that, that's the end of the draw phase.
Oh.
It is a wound card. Okay, so you might at least you can go to the hospital and get healed now.
It's a terrible hand.
So that's the end of the draw phase. we then go into the effects phase. And ordinarily, if there were any hazard cards on here, we would read out the effects of the hazard cards and resolve them. But because there isn't, we can basically forget that bit. We then, at this point, we check for win conditions or defeat conditions. One defeat condition would be that if there were 6 hazards on the board, but there's none, so we don't have to worry about it. We then go into the crisis phase. And the crisis phase is we take from this main deck again, and we fill in any non-hazard space. So we'll deal these out from the main deck. So you can see if we want to go back to the hospital, we've got to get rid of that hazard first before you can heal up.
Yeah.
So that's something that we might want to think about. Oops. Let me. You have to play them on top.
But do you play an advantage on an advantage?
You do play an advantage. That was it. Sorry, I couldn't remember if I'd played that one out. So basically, because it is a non-hazard card,
you play on top.
You play on top of it. And play there as well, and then play on top of that one, and then play on top of that one. So we're now in a situation where Save the World card has come out. It doesn't do anything this turn, but when we get to the effect phase at the end of the next turn, this will cause us to flip over the supervillain card, and then we're in the finale. That's the point when we can start to kind of defeat them. So that's something to think about, as well as that the finale is happening in the next turn. Okay. So you went first in your last turn.
Yeah. So
I take the first player token, and I'm going to go first this time. So let's have a little look and see what we're going to do. So in my sort of space there is the 2 fight symbols. I have 1 fight symbol. Oh, I have 2 fight symbols actually.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question.
When I picked up my hand from my deck, I got the Reckless Feud, which means if I pick up a wound, I have to get an extra wound and draw a card. I picked up a wound bit as part of my.
Let me have a little look at the card and just double check the text on it. So it says if you gain a wound, you didn't gain a wound, you already had the wound. I think.
It's just.
I think it's if you gain a wound at any point during the play now. That could be wrong, but that's how we're going to play.
We'll play it like that.
All right. Just to say that it's new to us. I'm sure we're going to make some mistakes, and also just to say as well that this is a prototype copy. So everything you can see here is basically being made for prototype and for just for review. So some of the quality might change as well. Right. So what I'm going to do then is I am going to. Instead of playing, let me have a little look. I'm just trying to work out if I'm going to waste more skill. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking, right? I have 1 card with a fight token and a power token that I could use to take out one of them power tokens, one of those fight tokens. I have another one, which would then take it out as well. So that's cost me 2 cards.
Yeah.
But one of my skill cards allows me to move any hero between the moon and any other location, and then draw a card. So I was trying to work out in my head there, is it more effective for me to spend that to move here, pick that one up, and draw a card, and then go back? It's still going to cost me 2 cards to get back, isn't it? But I will still have those skill cards with those things on. I think it's probably
worth it.
Yeah, that might be. So I'm going to spend that skill card there then.
Yeah.
And that will allow me to move to any location. So I'm going to go there.
Okay.
And back to you, Lou.
It's my go. I
and I get to pick a card up, as well.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah I forgot about
that. I think what I'll do is I'll pick up this advantage card as my go.
Okay.
That's over to you.
Okay.
And I've got a fantastic hand.
Do you have anything that could help me get rid of my feud cards, or have I got anything? I've got a card that says choose a player. They must discard their hand, then draw cards equal to the number of cards discarded. So that would be your full hand, yeah. So that would get rid of the wound card out of your hand.
I might pick up 2 more, but I wouldn't. I'd lose my feuds.
But you'd lose the feud card. So that's potentially. So if you're
maybe in a little while if I'm struggling.
If you're struggling, that's something I could maybe help with.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, because I picked up the card.
Oh, sorry, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one up. Oh, okay. That's what I forgot there was a one underneath. So it's there to get next turn as well.
So this skill card I've got says play this card, and this is the one we're not 100% sure on.
Okay.
Play this card at another hero's location to place a battle token of your choice.
So play this card at, and I think what we decided was you need to be at that hero's location.
So we need to be together.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Not that.
Well, there again, that would be then playing it at your location.
I know.
So.
But you can only play it if you're in the square with someone else. So you can but then you could play it. Because you can play it at a location of your choice. So. So as long as we're together, I can place a token on another square.
No. So the way it works is because it says I heard a rumor. Rumor's ability in the comic books is basically she can kind of whisper something and then they make it happen.
True.
So I think that the way that this is worded, play this card in another hero's location. So you could play it at my location even if you're not with me.
Okay.
So I think again, folks, as I said before, we might get some things wrong, but we're playing between friends.
Yeah, that's fine.
As long as we play it consistently the same way.
So what I'm going to do, I'm struggling a little.
What?
I've got no cards to kind of knock out any of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got to get rid of another one, but you're going to try.
I'm going to go back there and get rid of that at some point, which is going to help me because actually what we've got is that levitator belt will allow me to go back all the way straight back again.
I have one of those, so I can move to another location, for example, over here to pick up a power. Is it power, that one?
It is a power.
So I don't have any of them, and they are very useful. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll play my levitator belt.
Right. So if you play your levitator belt and you're going to move over there, and then what I'll do is it worth me at this point playing the card that allows you to redraw your hand, or do you want to spend those skills first?
I don't want you to play at the moment.
Okay. In that case, I'll just pick up this levitator belt. Okay.
At some point, it could be useful in a moment. I think when I get to a stage where these are what I've got left.
Maybe when you've got no skill cards left.
Because what I'm going to do, is it my go again?
It is your go.
So I'm going to start a new discard pile because I haven't got one. Start a discard pile. I'm going to move within this green block. Ooh.
I'm going to pick that up. I was going to say you're going to pick it up first, yeah.
I'm going to pick that up.
Great. I'm going to use my levitator belt, and then I'm going to move back to the moon, ready to take off that hazard card next turn.
Right, now I'm going to use my skill card to move within this green block to here.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use my double punch, my double fight.
Yeah.
That'll get destroyed, but it also destroys the attack. And that's one of our hazards out of the way now. So
and now you've got that.
And now,
ability.
now we've got the moon's ability back now again.
Right, I am going to use this advantage card to.
Okay, that's your the power card.
Yeah, which basically puts a power symbol here, which gets rid of.
Yeah.
Another card.
Awesome.
So it's good. So we're under.
It does say, however, if this card is destroyed, place a card from the main deck in this location. Yeah. So we do have to replace it, but luckily it's with an advantage card, so that's good. It's back to me again, isn't it? So I've got like 3 skills I can use. I've still got 2 feuds that are just basically taking up space in my hand at the minute. They're not really like hurting me too much.
So what skill? What?
And I've got an advantage, which is the fist.
Is that the only fit? So on your skill cards, do you not have any?
Yeah, no, that's. Oh, I do have one with 2 on. What were you thinking?
Just I can use this to place an ability, can't I?
We can start to get the bad guys now as well, can't we? I forgot about that.
I thought it was after this had been.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Keep me right.
So basically, I can place a battle token of my choice if you're in a location. So if you're, depending on which card you want to try and take out, if you need some help to take them out, I can help you basically.
Well, in that case,
what abilities have you?
Well, let's have a little look at the effects. So this one basically, heroes at this location must discard a skill. If there are no heroes here, we devastate. So that one's going to devastate. It'd be good to maybe get rid of that one. This one's going to be the one that destroys advantage cards in the deck. This one devastates as well. And, this one basically says if Hazel and Char move due to a villain action, they instead move here. The effect is if both Hazel and Char are in this location, the heroes lose the game. So we
want to get rid of that one as well.
So we could maybe, it depends. Is there anything else on the board that would move them?
No, it's not currently.
No, not currently. So we might just need to keep an eye on this one.
It's more likely to happen in the next
maybe,
phase, though, isn't it? Or the next.
So I think what we'll do is then,
So which symbols have you got again? Sorry.
I've got the power and the fight. I've got a power symbol. I've got another power symbol. So I've got 3 power symbols and 2 fight symbols. So I can definitely get rid of either that one or this one. It's probably better if I go over there and get rid of that, isn't it?
This is a good one to get rid of though, because it gets rid of your advantage. This could get rid of some of your advantage cards from the deck.
Okay.
So which do you think's better to get rid of?
But it's going to cost me 2 cards to get there, isn't it? That's the problem I have.
Oh, is this power?
Oh, sorry, I can use this ability, can't I? Discard a skill card to place a power token.
Can we
Okay.
just think it through a second though, because you've got enough of them. Because I'm thinking, I can then move. Oh no, I can't move all the way over there. Oh, I could if I pick this up and get to you, because I've got 2 of the bulbs to get rid of.
Yeah, the wits. Yeah.
So then if you
and then I could still use the power tokens here as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've got enough skill cards to do it, mine. That's the only thing. Because I've only got 2 skill cards I can spend to take out that one.
Yeah, but then I've got this one. So if you but you're not there, you'd have to move to there.
And I don't have enough skill cards to get there.
So what should we work on first?
Well, let's just take that one out. So I'm going to spend. I'll spend a skill card and put a power token on there.
Then I'm going to pick up this as my go.
Yeah, and then I think I'll spend another skill card.
Yeah. To get rid of it.
To take rid of this one. I don't think we have to worry too much about this, as long as none of the effects of the hazard cards say that these 2 end up in the same location.
I mean, I haven't got much I can do then, because I can play a battle token down. You'd have to be somewhere.
I'd have to be somewhere else.
So why don't? Oh, you've got rid of
the only place I can move to is here.
You've got rid of the one that allows me to draw my cards.
I know, unfortunately. Sorry, I thought you wanted me hold on to that one. I think I might pass at this stage.
And I think I'll pass too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you can do is, folks, is you can decide to pass. Once you pass, you can do no more actions, and then you basically wait until the other person either passes or basically they finish playing cards. So what we do is we finish the play phase again. We then go to the draw phase. So currently I've got 3 cards in my hand. The green ones, remember, don't count. So 4. I draw 2 more cards to my hand. Okay, did you get any more wounds or anything like that?
No,
you're okay.
1 wound and 2.
Okay, and then what we do is we then go to the effects phase. So let's move back to the board and see what the hazard effects do. So moving around, this one, heroes, there are no heroes at this location, so we devastate it. So basically we get rid of this, and a devastated card comes.
So the hospital's gone, we can't.
So that's bad. We should have thought about that really. It means that we can't heal up at the hospital anymore now. We come around the board. This one as well. This one is another one that gets devastated. So we now have 2 basically hazard cards that we can never get rid of now.
Yeah.
And then this last one basically says if Hazel or Cha-Cha move due to villain action, instead they move here. And the effect is if both Hazel and Cha-Cha are in this location, the heroes lose the game. They're not, but the card stays there. So we can't.
Does it say that?
No, but basically it doesn't say anything about removing the card, so the card stays there.
Okay.
So we're going to we finished the effects. Oh, so yeah, and the effect. Thank you very much. Keep me right. The effect phase. We now flip that. We are now in the finale, and I think this card comes away now. I think.
Yeah, it said put it back in the box basically.
Yeah,
so
that one's done now. So I'll leave it there so we remember we're in the finale. So now we can actually attack them. We've finished the effects phase. We now come to the crisis phase where we refill any non-hazard spaces. Remember, devastated areas are still classed as hazards for the purposes of both refilling the board and also when we count up to see if there's 6 hazards in the game. So this one looks a little bit kinder to us. We can start targeting the bad guys now, and you basically you attack the bad guys. The villains, I should say, by sort of filling out those tokens the way you would do for a hazard.
And you can attack a villain even if you're not in their square, or you have to be in their square?
You have to be in their square unless you have, for example, the Moon's ability where you can do things, or is it, what's the other one as well? There's another one, like the City's ability and things like that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
so my go first this time?
It is, we'll move to you.
Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll take up this advantage card, because we need the fists to attack both villains. Okay.
Amazing. I think what I will do is...
I didn't take damage, it was already in my hand.
Yeah, it was already in your hand, yeah. I think what I'm going to do now is... I need to get...
Have you got him?
I need to get away from the moon, I think, because I'm kind of trapped there at the minute.
Have you not got a bulb to get rid of that
I don't.
hazard?
No, I don't have one. But to be fair, I think I'm not really too worried about it. I'd rather, I think, try and focus on see if we can.
It's just hasn't it got a good ability underneath?
Basically, well.
No, underneath.
Or underneath.
Do you not want that?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because I can place a battle token on my next go at yours to get rid of it if you wanted it.
That's true, but I then have to pass, or I have to waste a card, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what the best thing I think to do is... I'll tell you what I could do then. Rather than waste a card, I'll spend this card. Choose a player. They must discard a card from their hand and draw 2 cards.
So can it be a wound or can it be a...
You can get rid of a feud card.
So it may as well be the one that gets... Oh, this one, which means I can go in the same space. I'll get rid of that and I'll pick up another one.
Yeah, well, you pick up 2 cards.
God, a wound.
Oh, I could be doing you a disservice here.
A skill. Okay. So I've got to pick up another wound card. Because I've drawn it.
Okay.
That's okay.
But that goes onto your discard pile.
Yeah.
Right, so now you can...
Now it's my go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my...
I thought you were going to spend that card to help me.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I bet you discarded it, did you?
No.
Oh, that's okay then.
I'll play this card to help you.
Okay, so that would put a witch counter down. But this one actually says, the problem is it says that this card is replaced with another one from the main deck. Please don't be a hazard. Oh, it is. This is going to be tough.
Okay.
So it's back to me now. Yeah, thanks very much now. Okay.
And we've got to remember the aim is to get rid of these guys, isn't it?
It is, but it's also, I think maybe it might be to survive this round, to be fair as well. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use a skill card again to put to try and... I feel like I made the wrong decision, but...
Well, I can get rid of him, I think. So if I get here next, which I'm going to... So if I use my levitator belt to move into this square, I don't take any wounds.
No, not with Hazel. With charge when you enter.
That's your go.
And then I'll basically use my last skill card to get rid. I know, that's what I was saying. I think I made the wrong choice. So you've got no skill cards to even use that power on the... No, that's the problem. So at least I get rid of that.
Oh, well, we're going to get rid of one.
We've got rid of
bad guy.
Yeah. The problem we've got is, though, I think it could be... we need to get rid of this one. Because this is the one that sends Hazel and Char.
But I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, but... It's... Oh, okay, so then they won't both be on the board at the same time. That's fine. That's all right.
Because... What I'm going to do first, because you're pretty much done.
Well, I've still got cards, but I don't think there's anything I can do.
Well, I'm going to pick up this weapon.
Okay.
And then do you...
I think I have to pass. There's nothing I can do. Like, I basically can't play these. So yeah, it's all on you now.
So it's on me. So I'm going to use a skill card to thump him first.
Yeah.
I'm then going to use this.
Yeah.
To hit him again. And then I've got this one.
Yes.
And I can get rid of him entirely. So he's...
Awesome. Right.
Gonna.
So that's Hazel being taken out. Okay.
So, okay.
So we've just got Char now, and Char needs 2 fight tokens and a power token.
Okay, so what have we got going on?
You've only got 1 skill card left, haven't you?
So I've got a skill. I can move to here to pick this up.
Yeah, but the problem you've got is...
If we place things on him now, what happens?
Basically what happens is... Let me just switch the camera over. Basically what happens is if you put them on there and we don't take them out at the end of the... I think it's the crisis phase or the other phase, you take all the tokens off that, like basically of anything that's still in play. So unless you can take them out this turn, you're better off buffing yourself up to try and...
so I may as well just...
do something.
I know what I'll do is I'll move a skill.
Just before you do that... Let's just check the board state because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 hazards, so we're okay. It's not going to end the game here.
Yeah, so I think the best thing I can do is to play a skill to get here to pick up the levitator belt.
Yes.
And then to use the free travelator
Yeah.
to get here to pick up the effort card.
Good moves.
So I think that's
Yeah.
all I can do now.
Okay, and that's all I can do. So that's the end of the play phase. We now move on to the draw phase.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 cards in my hand. I've got
3.
So I'm drawing 1. I've run out of cards. So I need to shuffle my...
So I've got a skill.
Oh, that's
Another
all right.
skill.
At least that's not
Okay,
too
that's
bad.
good.
I need to shuffle these. Oops. And I need to draw another 2 cards. 1, 2. So it's not too bad. I've got 3 skill cards now.
Okay, we've just got one bad guy too.
Okay. We do the effects now. So effects, if there are no heroes here, devastate this location.
Yeah, that's not too bad because it doesn't.
Well,
there's nothing underneath it.
Yeah. Come round to this one. If Hazel and Cha Cha are not in the same location, move them, but they're not both on the board, so it's fine. Otherwise, move Hazel and Cha Cha to the heroes location. However, it does say if Hazel or Cha Cha move due to a villain action, they instead move here.
Yeah.
So we move them here.
Yeah.
And then it says that basically, if this card is destroyed, it's discard the card. It's not destroyed. It's just discarded.
Yeah.
That's devastated. And then the effect is here. If both Hazel and Cha Cha are in this location, the heroes lose the game. They're not because they're not both on the board.
Okay.
So that's the end of that. We haven't done any of the lose conditions. So we go to the I forget the name now, the crisis phase, and we fill the board back up. Oh,
come on!
This is where it's getting a bit. We need to really work together now and see if we can take out that last bad guy. So yeah, we've got some. We've got some.
So you're first.
Me first turn this time. Right. It would be stupid of me not to do anything else except pick up that advantage card. So we need two of the fight tokens and a power token. Now I can give a power token from where I'm sitting as well.
Token.
And I've got 1 fight token.
I've got 1 fight token.
Now remember, is it this one? Is the one where that's wits? Oh, it's this one under here that gives the fight token.
So it's where he is anyway, so it makes a little difference.
But we need to get rid of everything else
now,
first.
The problem I've got is
I've got 2 fight tokens.
How many wounds can you have in your hand? Oh, they'll go in the
discard pile. Yeah.
Okay. So you're first. You go first.
I picked up a card from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'll do is just to pick that up,
So yeah, so
it could be useful.
You just picked up that
Sorry.
one. Sorry, I moved the camera. So okay, so it's me to go now, isn't it? So I think the wise thing for me to probably do is just to use. I use a skill card.
Yeah.
While I'm here, to basically use the Moon's ability and put a power token onto Cha Cha. So.
Ooh.
So we put it over there. So that's probably the
right.
best thing
Then
I could do.
I'll use my. I can use any card, I suppose. I'll use a skill card to move into here, but I'll take 2 wounds into my discard pile, please.
And then do you take an extra one as well for that?
Only if it goes into your hand.
No, for the...
If you gain a wound while this is in your hand.
Yeah, that is in your hand. You've just gained a wound.
Okay.
So you get an extra wound in
and
there
then
as
draw
well.
a card, it says.
So then you draw a card from your discard pile. From your deck. Okay, and then basically, so I need to move now really because I've got the 2...
Right, I've got
two fight tokens.
I've got 2 of them though.
So, are you already there?
Yeah,
so you're
you can.
So you're probably going to do it then, aren't you? You're going to be able to manage to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess...
it makes no difference, so you may as well move in, otherwise you're just giving in.
I know, but I think you'll have done it by the time I get there.
You've not got to levitate, no?
No, I haven't.
Well, I probably can do it quicker if you just...
Yeah, I can play the skill... I'll just play that skill card to move here, just for the sake of it.
And I'll play this skill card, which...
To put the fist on there.
Dumps him, and you'll go.
And then I'll play another skill card to come and give you a hand.
And take 2 wounds.
And take 2.
Just because you have to.
Just because I have to.
And then I'll play the final
advantage.
advantage.
Yes, so you play that last one.
And we'll get him off the board.
And then basically what it says here is that... where we are, the wounds game, the heroes win immediately if both Hazel and Cha Cha are destroyed. So, phew!
Fabulous! I did it.
That was a scrap.
That's good.
So, what did you think of it? I mean, you're not that familiar with the comic books or the TV show, yeah?
No.
So, ignoring the kind of, I guess, the artwork and stuff, because it's not that familiar to you, what did you think of it from a game perspective?
I like it. It's simple. I like co-op games anyway. I think they're much more fun. And we won.
We won, so it can't be too bad. From my perspective, I think that if you're into the comic books or you've watched the TV show, a lot of the theme of the IP comes through into the game. The fact that the feud cards coming out, making you kind of like stopping you from doing stuff because you're a bit of a bickering family, and the art on the cards is very nice as well, very reminiscent of the comic books. And I like the kind of the hand management and the kind of the managing of resources, and the even just the conversation. We've said before, playing co-op games, we much prefer playing co-op games together because there's interaction and we're chatting and we're making decisions together. And I might get carried away sometimes and try and say, well, I think you should do this, but we generally have a good laugh. So for us, co-op games are a big winner, and I'd certainly play this again. Would you play it again?
Yes, I would.
That's never a bad thing. Yeah, definitely play it again. So thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll put a link there as well for the Game Found page where you can go and check out Umbrella Academy by Mantic Games.